Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, we're going to be getting into the action momentarily as well, and we kind of posed a question, I think, just threw it up in the air, about 100 Thieves and Icebox, right? Because attack side looks brilliant. They're starting on defense side for this second map here. Potential chance for them to close out the series overall, to lock in a chance of making top 4 playoffs as well, which is a great opportunity for them. But there's that question, kind of just like hovering over the entire series. How good is the 100 Thieves defense going to be looking? We're about to find out.
Yeah, I think it's an opportunity for them to showcase something better. I mean, Asuna, you saw a tweet just then in the break saying, let's play some VALORANT that we can be proud of. So this is an opportunity for them to showcase that they've worked on, I would say, the weaker side of the map for most teams.
Yeah.
I think most teams are coming into Icebox thinking about the attack side. It's easier to go and take that space you need to execute. It's easier to get into good positions now with the current meta. So the defense becomes pretty tough to play, even though you have a lot of good plant denial tools to work with. It's just tough to hold off big A execs, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's the big problem right now in the meta.
How do you push back against it? In terms of compositions, though, nothing out of the ordinary. Dare I say, standard affair, not as standard as it used to be with Icebox. Used to only see the one comp, but
yeah, I mean, Asuna playing the Harbor, sorry, not the Harbor, the Gecko.
The Gecko is
a little,
unusual.
Not standard. You know, you'd expect more teams to be going with stuff like the Taeho. Gives you really good pipes control on the attack side. Again, gives you really good plant denial, although you get that with the Marsh.
Yeah, I think that's another aspect as well, though, with the Wingman. They just like it. One of the worst aspects of Icebox, you load in at rank, you're wondering, okay, well, who's going to plant a spike?
Yeah, who's on plant?
I'm not kidding. It's like 50-50 whether we leave it in spawn and I'm solo queuing, mate. It's like no one wants that responsibility. Maybe that's a part of it.
Tonga here in the pistol round.
Okay, Stealth trying to try and lead its way. This is Xander trying to catch a cheeky timing. It's going to be alarm bots. Nanoswarms all detted up here. Lots of players ready and waiting. Xander's going to be dropped here. They need to clear this guy out of dodge. Flash into your face eventually. Getting the job done there for 2G. So even it up 4-4. And here's that reflank. Creep and crawl in from behind. No anticipation about it. No anticipation at all. Asuna up and over. Flash in your face. This is PXS just seeking to redeem himself.
It's actually gone well for 2G.
Yeah, and now there's an option to pivot all the way over towards A. If that was the A players, go on, get a bit of a scurry on. Got to worry about mid.
The read is good. EU almost found a timing there to try to challenge them on the mid cross, but instead he's getting himself into a position. So we're going to get a brawl. All they've done is swap the sites.
This position right here is going to be potentially quite unexpected, but a knife reveals, or at least towards the back here, orb into your face, a tap, and a swing through as well. Good coordination in the end. This is all to come together. And damage done to the final player. Booio has been handed a lifeline. He's getting cheeky with it, and just can't quite hit it.
5 HP the difference there towards the end. I like what 2G were doing with the orb, swinging out of it from multiple different directions, trying to overwhelm EU. Almost lost the 3v1 though to Booio. That would have been a mighty pistol for him to get for the team. They did not think about the fact that when silence goes down, this flank is so open. Oh. I think 100 Thieves should have won the pistol round basically just off that flank. It looked like they had 3 kills. But the reactions a tad too good. And you could argue that LZ's won them another pistol with 3 kills there. Pretty similar to what he was doing in the previous series we watched.
Definitely seems so. And 2G are taking this so slowly. They've given up all of A main control. Given up the orb on top of it. I think a good sign to look forward to, as we've been mentioning, I think, is like running the Taeho, just a way to control pipes early on as the attackers. Deep dart against Bell. Salva's being used. Any sort of way to deny front A space is pretty important in that kind of, at this point, it's like almost flowchart Valorant, right? So
2G though, had focused more on a B leading default at the beginning of this half. So maybe conditioning 100 Thieves to just push up a little bit and take a bit of free A space, and then they're going to go back and punish that later on. Normally teams will have a game plan for the first 5 rounds or so. Right, I plan for the pistol, I plan for the bonus, I plan for the next rifle round, and then you kind of feel the game out from there and try to let your IGL kind of work off what's been happening in the game.
Everybody going down with the ship. 100 Thieves just trying to deny this one. You don't want to let 2G build up any ults, and okay, well, PXS
That's really nice.
Yeah, wraps it from behind there. So now, what is it, 3 away?
Yeah, pretty close considering. And it's a good ultimate to get online early on. Cryo has immediately gone for the operator. I mean, no beating around the bush. Just as soon as he has 4,700 credits online, get me the boomstick. And he has made such a difference with this weapon.
Yeah. Could be a very wise choice of how slow 2G are really playing into most of these rounds.
At the same time, though, again, it's the B-leaning default for 2G.
No one heading over towards A really at all, just trying to control that space. Deep knife up and overhead. It's going to be broken.
It's easier for the defenders to contest this area, but you can see that it's a bit of a fake. They've kind of pulled Cryo off the line. He's now on a really passive defensive line with his operator. And 2G is starting to walk back into A.
Trying to re-clear that mid-info. And Jiggle from 100 Thieves. They're stacking this with a lot of bodies. They've got a bit of a read occurring. I think that's just from Xander with his B main control.
Yeah, drone through mid, Xander fully posted on B. You know this is going to be an A exec. Question is, can you hold it off?
A lot of angles to account for. Underhanded with the flash, at least for the first wave of things here. That's going to trigger the wall to go up, and that's another difficult one to try and get yourself through. Cryo dropped in the midst of all of this one here. Askia doing a hell of a task. Up, down, dash, up and away here. It's left it into a 1v2 for 2G's bonus.
Spike planted.
Assert themselves into the positions. Silence, head on a bit of a swivel here. There's a... Not quite sure where Xander could be lurking and approaching from here, but they are doubled up. Turret, oh, not even that catching the contact here. It's just the elbow bullets raining down, and Silence no more. Up top though, anticipation and snap to the side. This is Xander. 35 out for the dream. He'll be going straight back to sleep off the back of that one. This is a bonus round conversion of 2G.
And they pick up the operator at the end as well. I mean, that was the round where Cryo had invested in a glass cannon op, and he gets ruined as the first pick. They used basically one underhand flash to clear Maze, not even to go through the Viper wall, and then they just ran in. And 100 Thieves couldn't stop it. And that's why I posed the question. Yeah, you have 4 players here, stacking on A, but can you actually stop a hit from coming through? It's the biggest thing that teams are struggling with on defense right now, is just stopping these A execs.
100 Thieves especially so. Salvos, you can see, they were used preemptively to make sure the 100 Thieves couldn't play for an early orb.
Booio goes for a walk down the tube here. Just looking to post himself up, get a little bit of info, hear some rotates. He will hear these footsteps.
Yeah, presumably.
He might have just missed it, actually.
What a walk-in occurring. Timing to be taken. Uh-oh. Him versus Gobert, and here's it. Scurrying around. Good with the crosshair placement.
So he's going to call the timing now for the rest of 100 Thieves to scurry across, but he might have just missed it. Could be a little too late here.
Yeah, they're already... Look at this by 2G. Proactivity is called for. They're going to be trying to fight all the way deep into Snowman. That's a good dart, though. Lighting them all the way up and punish inside. That's LT. Defends through into the back there. Sheriff's in hands. Going to try and make it work. Booio! Booio! What is this? 1 bullet left. 1 player left to stand. 4 kills in the round. It's an ace on the cards. Wingman forcing the issue out wide. And there you have it. Stand up, take a bow. Not too far though. You don't want to disconnect your entire setup. All good.
He's tethered to the desk. He's popping off so hard.
All good.
That's a sick round though from Booio. It feels like he's found his form again. Got a bit of a freebie here on Cabrera to open things up, but then nice catch on Askia, just as Askia was about to fight over Snowman control. All 5 in the round.
Yeah, looking nice with it for the iBuyPower ace. Make sure you follow iBuyPower on socials and use hashtag UnlockYourAce. Plenty of rewards and giveaways occurring.
And Boostio's now got his ult online to be able to play retake on one of these sites. So if they don't want to challenge super heavy over A main,
flash up and over that updraft dash. Askia. It's unfortunate almost that he couldn't collect that kill onto Xander. Pop it away, playing Cryo almost all the way back in here, but no one on knife duty. Slightest of angles.
Maybe a bit overconfident there from Booio. challenging on an angle without realizing that there was a player deep in mid, and now they've lost the lockdown. So no real opportunity to play A for retake, even though that's the setup that they're currently running with.
No command forwards. It's going to be spelling it out to 100 Thieves. Oh, and steady though by 2G.
Oh my god.
PXS is barely up onto that line. Whips it round to the corner. Full side control for 2G. Committal now, but they're not holding the top rafters. And okay, Asuna just walks all the way out. Little bit messy. Asky with the trade, instantaneous back and forth from EU.
Revealing area.
And Cryo's got to think about here whether he wants to go forwards and commit the operator to this attempt.
And wants to play here. Bullet to the brain, just through the wall, and that's how LT's surviving. Shock dart ricocheting. Oh, tripped him out. That's EU. Lovely little play. As you mentioned, Cryo is thinking about it, but listen, you've got to try and root out these players. Where could they be? Hiding in wait. Salvo's just buying all the more time. 2G are happy to really just let them stew. Still now EU sticking! And what a whiff from Gobera! Time has been earned, and a round has been won.
Cryo just walks up all the way forwards, holding the angles for those peaks, but Gobera's got to hit that one, man. I don't think he quite realized how close Cryo was. But Asuna just walks it out on rafters too, with nobody paying attention.
One enemy remaining.
Couple major missteps in this round for 2G, but 100 Thieves will love that. Especially after Booio died right at the beginning. He was watching this whole round from the sidelines.
They give it to you. Everyone makes mistakes.
Didn't quite catch what EU was saying there, but I think he was saying, like, if you just wait patiently long enough, 2G are going to make the mistakes. We're gonna get given these opportunities.
It's fast up by 2G. Different look. Flash overhead on top of it. Now you're going to see it. Lockdown, drop down. An attempt by 100 Thieves to try and push them back and away.
Very early.
2G are hard committing. They've got bodies in here. There's 4 seconds left. You're all going to get detained. Slightest windows to play in, but okay. What is that?
2.
Revealing area.
Yeah, and just narrowly avoiding for that timing. 2 detained is going to slow them down to a crawl here. 100 Thieves. Point to be made, not to be overzealous. Don't overstep yourself here. Let 2G play into you.
I mean, that was a weird one too, though, because I think they committed Fragment Grenade and Salvos to break the lockdown, but they were too slow with it.
Yeah,
so it detained them as they were breaking it. Bizarre.
Weird interaction.
So 2G just wanted to send this round and unfortunately had to hit the cancel button. And now they're in a bit of an unusual spot, but it's going to be a re-hit.
And that's a thrash as the wall goes all the way up here. They're hearing it with the drone on top of it. That's a good suppression, though. Cancels out towards it, so thrash not active, boosting forwards, but anticipating. Hold on, backs towards all of it. Still 2G. They're running rampant now onto the site, delivering an onslaught. Straight to the doorstep. 100 Thieves still struggling to really get any sort of hold going. And again, Cryo with this operator playing retake into this spot. Unless Sander gets something done, if he finds a few easy pickoffs, 2G not in the habit of giving it away. Gonna have to give this one up. And they're gonna want to go hunting. 2G eager. It's blood in the water. They're chasing the trail.
They got money to chase. But at the same time, Cryo would be able to buy another op, so I think a stalemate called here.
Yeah.
100 Thieves in another spot, though, where they stack the A site. They know that this hit is about to come through. I mean, the thrash, sure, it doesn't really slow down the entirety of 2G, but they knew that A re-hit was going to happen on that timing, and they couldn't stop it. The defense from 100 Thieves has yet to really show that it's got that sticking power. They're getting caught out by just like one flash, and the crossfires are not cemented in sight. The players are not quite able to ping-pong off each other well in these kind of moments. Getting run down, even with lighter weaponry. I mean, if I'm 2G right now, I'm thinking, hey, we can just kind of hit A repeatedly, and I think we're going to get some serious rounds in this half.
Knife and up and over, along with the salvos again. That is the first line of offense here from 2G, looking to see if they can secure a bit of space in through front A.
And it also just gives you information. You know, because you've suppressed Cryo, the operator's here.
Alarm bot out.
So time to be cautious.
Gearing up for a bit of a flash peek on top of it. 2G not running a Sova, so they don't have the typical tools you'd use to find out where the op is playing exactly, clear them out. It's going to feel slapdash almost.
I mean, what is the play here? You kind of expect EU to be wanting to play off his Sova ultimate in a round like this on defense, but everybody else on 100 Thieves wants to take the fights pretty early on. I mean, Asana's position is committed and aggressive.
This is very strange indeed. And the Hunter with the flash again to try and get through themselves into the choke. That's Cryo cleared out. Hunter's Fury, it was primed, it was ready, and EU, at least with just the one collection, 2G are not slowing down.
But the rest of the players on site are gone. Even though the Hunter's Fury connects with a couple of players, it didn't help Cryo or Asana survive.
Shock
30
darts.
seconds left.
Lame to do a bit of chip damage, potentially even the kill as well. Second guessing himself into the moment, and that just, okay, landed a little bit short, still scared the bejesus out of him, so 2G not committing to the plan for now. Feeling uncertain in this timing, and it's given an option for 100 Thieves potentially. White swings and white faces, EU! Gotta collect that kill, you gotta collect it now! Just putting the pressure on a bit of an island. VXS just can't quite make out control into the round and lit up. Position noted of Askia. Quick cleanup.
And the plan denial, the threat was more important there than the action itself.
Yeah.
If PXS had just committed to that plant, he would have got it down, but impossible for him to know in the moment that EU was going to slightly miss the shock dart. He made the right decision by getting off. But once you apply this amount of pressure to the planters, you get to a spot where there's like 15 seconds left and they can't hold rafters. They just have to be putting all of their effort, all of their resources into getting the plant down.
Oh, it's so easy, I swear.
Well, they're 3-4 down at the moment, so if it is that easy, they need to demonstrate it with a string here. They might have cracked the code, but Cryo and Asana still played in very committed positions that round.
Yeah.
If you're going to play off and play the plant denial, you kind of want them to be playing a one pick and get out kind of strategy.
That pit's going to be dropped down, 2G. Stray bullets. Praying for the connection onto Xander.
The 2G have gone for this B side default quite a bit, where they put a bit of pressure over towards B and then they walk back into A. And Cryo's going to be hoping they do something similar. Instead, though, for the first time, LZ calls his team up Tube, and the Pied Piper leads them forwards.
We'll see it now.
Ahead.
Good dart, I guess the acknowledgement, EU. Couple of shots now. This is shock darts, all up the gut of the map in through Kitchen, but heads on a swivel, not anticipating the Booio could already be here to receive them. Flash forwards and around as 100 Thieves calling for the fight and the refight. The reaction of 2G is even better. Still Xander round and about and locking it all the way down. Kitchen is his domain.
Spike dropped, lost in Kitchen. Silence left to pick up the pieces. Knows roughly where Xander is, but there's so many micro adjustments to Cryo on the angle.
Yeah.
Never gonna let Silence walk under Tube there. That's the kind of team fight brawl that 100 Thieves want to go for. It looks so chaotic. When Booio sticks around for 5 full seconds taking this fight, you're like, mate, what are you up to? But it's because he's buying time for Asana, for Xander to get into position to fully scrap and never let 2G exit Kitchen. Either 2G wins the round right there by killing everybody, or they're not escaping.
We all got active, we all got down in 30.
It was a down and dirty kind of round, and that's the kind of rounds that 100 Thieves love to play. They can't always force a big team fight like that.
Especially on a map like Icebox.
But when you find the opportunity, they will take it. And they've knocked down the economy of 2G. So maybe it was just that easy. Maybe EU's got the read now.
Force that timeout out of 2G. Had to make good usage of it, to be honest, because it's been a few stray rounds, obviously. Now, 100 Thieves got a string of it on the timeline. Just the one interruption in round 6, but other than that, they do feel like they're in control.
Yeah, there was a Booio ace in there.
Yeah.
There was also the one round that I can remember of them losing the retake over towards A. I mean, I think back to A leaning defaults seemed like it would be the right decision for me, but maybe they don't want to go for that on the eco as well.
Weaker guns now for 2G. 4-4. Looking towards this round, I think, to do a bit of damage, maybe build up an ult or two for the next.
Yeah, PXS will have his null command online, even if he just dies in this round. So
Yeah.
they'll have plenty of tools heading towards round 10.
Locating targets.
Or better yet, just try and go for the win in the round. Cryo's the only one home. Here's the drone, and it forces him back out and away. It's not the best tool for the job, again, like I was mentioning, for clearing out an Oppa. 2G aren't running a Sova for that job still. Similar positions, Cryo's been playing here before.
Don't think
Dash
we've
still
seen
available.
Don't think we've seen Asuna on top of screens. He might
Yeah.
get first contact.
And he does. He spots all of them here, but still rattling off with the Sheriffs. And look at the wrist.
Spike down.
Micro adjustments. That's a shorty in your hands. And Cryo's going hunting. And listen, he's going to get his reward. Askia cleared out. Proactivity, taking the fight straight to them. And as that wall drops, opens sightlines and open access to the head of Silence.
I like that defensive setup. Asuna takes contact first at the line of scrimmage, at the Viper wall. And that then gives Cryo a timing to peek out himself. So it's not actually the Oppa taking first contact, which I think can sometimes be a bit of a bait on this map. We've seen Cryo die a couple of times because he's just facing too many people.
Yeah.
Kind of allowing Asuna to play Cryo in seems good.
Hey, you're like a ninja, huh? Go fuck the site.
That's a good way to play it. This is the round we were talking about, Alpha 2G.
Yeah,
Built up a string of ults.
They're moving it around, so they're just looking to play a retake, leaving the Killjoy utility here as a little bit of bait, basically. And instead, I think they'll have a heavy flank retake setup in this round by the look of things. They're anticipating the PXS is going to use it.
Go ahead.
KO ultimate.
Yeah, this is going to be layering it down towards the back. Booio is just out wide into the open here. There's no retreat available, not when that util is going to be layered down into that particular approach.
And PXS has saved the ult, so now he can use it to stop the retake util.
Yeah, it's going to be it. Flooding out forwards here. Askia, though, quickly dealt with. Pit's going to be dropped down on top of it here. It's a big ult round for 2G to commit the lockdown on top of it. And that, okay, Xander. It's going to be quick onto the flank now. Just trying to buy a bit of time alongside Asuna, see if they can put a bit of a pinch on towards these 2G players. Dart, no reveals. Now swarms forwards here. 2G. A lot of question marks to be written across the map in terms of where these players' positions are, because Thieves do have them surrounded, but getting into the pit is another thing entirely. And he's just spotted it. Silence, peeking up and over. This time you're going to hit the go button. And 2G just like that. Blink and you'll miss it.
They didn't even have to use all of their ults there. The Tejo ult completely caught Booio on site, so that's a great pick, but then nobody could be found inside of that Viper's pit. There is an element of just rolling the dice in a round like that, though. I mean, if EU happens to catch somebody with a dart, then maybe it can snowball into something. If you get some lucky spam and predict the corner that LZ's playing in, maybe the whole round goes differently. But as it is, that one was pretty easy for 2G. Get in, get the Viper pick, get out. Now we get to see another one where they've got the lockdown to work with.
Yeah, ult saved.
Asuna really wanted that orb, and they made sure there was 0% chance he was getting the Thrash online.
Salvo's in a snake point, forced to respect it.
You should run.
They could break this with Mosh and Shock.
We'll see if they feel something for it. Mosh rebounds, Nanoswarm as well off to the side.
Yeah, that should be good.
Shockies as well. The extra layer needed, just in case.
Nice
Also going to be
combo.
dropping though momentarily, and here comes a different sort of test. Trying to step up into the firing line as a flash through, and Asune's running and gunning, trying to roll back the years back to 2022. And Cryo straight back in through the back. On top of it, this is 3 kills in a round for him. Askia, it's going to be not long for this world, honestly, with Xander right there behind. Position noted, spotted out, discipline now played. And there it is, timing to be taken here for round 11, so 100 Thieves getting the advantage now, 1 round lead.
Last
And
round.
I think at this point you could already talk about how much of an improvement this is compared to the last time we saw their Icebox defense. They have got the read on it right now. Asuna's drawing so much attention away from Cryo. Cryo's hitting every shot, and then they've got the flank immediately as well. Xander and Asuna were right there in the previous round, and this round, Xander instantly on the flank again, just as that insurance policy. They completely understand what 2G are up to. And if it wasn't for 2G winning pistol and bonus, this would be a very one-sided half.
Cryo might get a bit of action as well coming his way, but no signs for now. Poshed and pushed back just from the knife alone. They're getting a
running at him.
run on! Booio, he doesn't care, man. Using the Thrasher, set this one forwards. It's just a one-man army. He's got the support. laying on from the side, stunned up. Matters not. Hassan's the one who ends up going down in the midst of it. Booio! Booio! It's a 4-piece to seal up the first half of Icebox here, and a 7-5 finish now for 100 Thieves. As you mentioned as well, Josh, listen, it was a pistol round and a bonus conversion of 2G, and past that, not too much more.
No, just dominance for 100 Thieves. EU was right when he said that it was easy, apparently. And look at this round. This round is vintage 100 Thieves. They are just running it down. They just run at you. Booio taking point. Out-fragging Cryo by 50% as well in this half. He looks good.
He really does. You don't expect that kind of aggression, but 100 Thieves, they thrive in it. It's how they like to play as well. And we're going to see on the other half as well just how this map ends up going.
Red Bull gives you wings.
It's time to find out if this series is going to be closed up. 100 Thieves putting in a lot of work here to try and secure that top 4 spot here overall for the playoffs, or are 2G going to be able to run this one all the back? Very difficult to ask, I would argue, for 2G. Fist bumps going out though. They've got to have the confidence to try and do it, but with how good 100 Thieves have been looking on their attack of this map, that's why I say it's going to be a hard ask.
And today wasn't as much of a slow start from 100 Thieves compared to their match against Loud, but they're really looking like a team with a ton of aggression and confidence, especially if you only looked at that final round of the half there, round 12. They're coming out again with a lot of pace and aggression.
Yeah, it's a flash and a dart out towards the back. It's all quickly dealt with though if you are 2G, and out through B main. It's a little tangle, trying to see if they can wrap up some of these players, potentially taking these fights, overstepping themselves, but dash back to safety for 2G, and Askia still alive now, 5v5, LC. Here's the wall going up, uses the orb in response. Just the shoulder being peeked out wide here. And still, just eager to take the fight. I mean, Xander's taking that alone. There's no follow-up in the end from Booio. Scrambling now to see if they can at least potentially collect that kill as well. Putting that pressure and applying it to LD. Maneuvering his way around and a fight to be taken all the way forwards. Asuna is called for it. Collection of kills potentially, but rattling over the Sheriff. You're missing almost every single shot. Silence. He's now caught, dropped down. EU knows it. Ready and waiting now. Precision is called for. Gobera has cleaned him up though. Cryo trying to play this one lightly. Revealed, spotted out here, and now the fight taken together. This is 2G with another pistol round win.
So many spots where it could have gone the other way. I mean, many moments where it looked like 2G had potentially lost the plot there, but that opening kill ended up being remarkably important with Xander falling early. You saw the idea in the pistol round for 100 Thieves. They're trying to fake a bit of A pressure, get a double lurk going, punish the solo player that gets left to watch over towards B. They just didn't quite have the coordination between Booio and Xander there. Booio got pushed back by the orb as Xander swung to take the fight. Cryo locked in a corner to try to finish off a 1v2. So that pistol starts to get 2G back into this. The scoreboard makes it look like this has been a close map, but it hasn't really so far. Double pistol win for 2G and they're still behind.
One suppressed.
Getting still not going to be broken this time for 100 Thieves. Still, it's a pop flash play and a peek. And I set Gobera up, and he's going to get his wish with the fight to be taken. Booio is on one today.
Hey, he's feeling it, isn't he?
Head's peeking out up and over towards the top here. This is Silence. His job just trying to dismiss this one. 100 Thieves are just taking the fight to them regardless, and a rumble with the footsteps, putting a squeeze onto the backside players. LZ is trying to make the most of the chaos, but he ends up falling anyway. A lot of damage taken into the process. Askia has been left into, dare I say, an unwinnable spot and scenario. It's going to be left just to him, and he needs weaknesses, he needs mistakes from 100 Thieves. They're not in a habit of making it possible, but that's a snappy one. Straight to the dome, Cryo gone. Up top, he's finding info. Here's the dash, and here's some space. Up across the ropes again, sneaking, crawling. That's the Asuna special.
Seen that one for the last 5 years. Asuna on the ropes on Icebox. Hey, name a better combo, that's iconic. I thought there was a chance that Askia could have done that. The regen armor actually made all the difference there with his fight against Cryo. But you are never pre-aiming randomly in the middle of the ropes. I mean, that's just so well played, I think. And 100 Thieves rip it away immediately from 2G. Pretty similar to what we saw in Ascent, actually. Both teams having a little bit of a struggle of converting these spots. 100 Thieves had so much confidence and aggression on the eco round. From Boostio's start to the way that Cryo snowballed it forwards, 2G were left reeling.
Deep drone, a Salva's attempt of a punish there. Definitely causes EU to cancel it out.
There is an angle over here from Boostio to PXS.
He's missed the cross though.
Yeah, looking for each other's heads.
And the call made by 100 Thieves here. Just going to be slowly walking up. Now some utils reveal their hands. Dashboards on top gen, a bit of damage. In through the wall, players are lined up. Been waiting there. Cacophony of utils all going to be used as well to pave that way forwards.
That looks really nice. Very well coordinated from 100 Thieves. If you're given that amount of space at the beginning of the round, they're just going to dump everything on your head. And Asuna even has the Thrash online for the next. This is how momentum builds.
Definitely sharp.
This is how belief builds. I feel like they do it all the time. Wyatt was talking about it on the desk as well. This team will give you the highest of highs, lowest of lows, and all the time string you along to make you believe. We haven't really seen the super low lows from 100 Thieves today. Some wonky spots at the beginning of the first map, but once they kind of got things online in the second quarter, they've been firing.
Yeah.
But my eyes are on the Thrash here and the idea of what they've got to go with it. I lean over towards B, and it's only LZ. IGL, player who's been performing to an exceptional degree individually, but he's asked a lot of in this spot. Wow,
just
and a double lurk mid.
Yep, all the way forwards, that's put the squeeze. There it is. It's a bit of a pinch. Lamot's going to be revealed, but you don't expect Xander not to be lurking late so like that. Bait and switch setups that are occurring out through mid as well. Fight is called for and it's taken. 100 Thieves not one to really step back here. Maybe lack of caution might punish them. EU though, did he expect this? Doesn't look like it. This guy is running a mockery right now in Kitchen. Good luck clearing him out at this point in the 2v3. Second wave of things here for Thrash, and yeah, I mean, an attempt to take that timing as well. Detainment onto the last. It's an inevitability at this point. Getting a run on, toying with him. Up and over the top, and Cryo, execution style. 10-6 now for 100 Thieves. At this point, it's not even a question of really like his momentum on their sides. They're fully in control.
Yeah, they are. And that round is straight out the playbook. It's so similar to the pistol. Remember what they did on the pistol? 3 players go over towards A and you get a double lurk going, trying to get the punish onto LZ on B. Well, this is the opposite of that. 3 players with a Thrash go towards B main, and you get a really fast timing through mid from Boostio and Xander. It's well crafted, completely catches 2G off guard. They're expecting that to just be all 5 players, or maybe a 4-1 with a late backstab. The timing and the fact that there was 2 in mid there, it just ruined 2G's defense. That's a great round to pull out at the perfect time, and it crushes 2G's economy and basically any chance in this map. I mean, 2G would have to pull so deep here to get back. 100 Thieves in control.
They have to be last-ditch efforts from 2G. Down 4 rounds, your timeout taken, used up. I mean, you don't even have guns to work with in this round here. It's a half-fight you're going to be going into. hard work's realistically going to be starting onto the next, unless they can cook up some sort of idea when weapons are weak, play to gain an advantage.
And they're going to need some big individual as well. And at the moment, all of the individual stuff is going the way of 100 Thieves too. But it's pretty easy to be in a good individual spot when all of the ideas are working.
Yeah.
And today I think has been defined by Booio. Like some of the stuff that he was calling on Ascent, but especially here on Icebox. Plus the individual form of the guy. I just think back to the conversation that he and Zix were having about finding his role on the team.
Sure.
Trying to get away from being as supportive of a player.
My ult's ready.
To being back into a spot where he can take fights and feel confident about himself.
A Blade Storm in hand for Cryo. I'm going to be looking to slow down here. It's a lot of util going to be used. Preemptively here, underhanded with the flash. PXS does need to be careful. 2G lying in wait here. Trying to make another go, I think. Snakebite up and over towards the top. The salvo's just about too late here. With Outlaw in hand, this is Cryo making the most of it. He knows he's up against a weaker buy. And now he's going to try and seal this one all the way up. 4-piece. Eco kills racked up all the way.
Race it to the spike side.
He loves a good few eco kills on this map, doesn't he? That gets him to 20. 20 kills, 7 deaths. And I think Boostio's got reason to be annoyed about that because he's now overtaken him on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Right, he just looks so clean in these kind of spots, doesn't he? Knows exactly how he wants to play with the Outlaw and the knives. 100 Thieves pull another strat out of the playbook, by the look of things, to try to completely boom 2G's defense. 3 people walking down mid on a fast timing without popping the Vital.
Well, Torrent's going to be catching most of that one. Should be forcing a reaction from 2G. Definitely there's some level of uncertainty. Meanwhile, through B main as well, LZ has got to be that playmaker. Wingman to clear. Rebounds, and now they know. Snakebite forced out.
Boostio's kind of through here, though. PXS has got to keep an eye on this. Bullet goes through the eye.
And he's on one. And LZ feeling like he has to step up, maybe risk to be taken to see if he can even this one out all the way, but he is hard committed into this spot. And what is that?
You always get one from us on that, but I thought the ropes clutch earlier was the one.
I hope he's cleaning that horseshoe.
That's disgraceful.
100 Thieves, man, it's just... It's getting silly with it.
You could make a frag movie in the past few years of shots like that just from Asta.
Plan, no denial, Askia wanted to step up, potentially the posture, and wrapping all the way behind. Look at it. Full awareness from Booio now. He's relentless. He's unleashed. He's on a bit of a heater. You can tell how eager he is to try and take this fight. Jump spot on away.
He's trying to get a
He's
kill like Asta
trying
did.
to. He's trying for it. 2G running away here. There's a window. Hello, you got to be aware of that one there. Booio eventually is. Gobera no choice now but to scurry away, save the gun for a rainy day. It's only rainy days, to be honest, for 2G.
They're pouring out there. They cannot figure out a way of stopping what 100 Thieves are doing, and it's so different to the previous time we saw them on the attack side. It is so mid-focused. Yeah. Boostio's doing so much stuff with double lurk on the pistol, 2 through mid on the bonus, 3 through mid this round, and he breaks the turret, allows himself to get inserted into the kitchen, and then he's a menace. And what is PXS doing even if he doesn't die here? He's just letting his team know, oh yeah, guys, we lost the whole of the middle of the map, by the way. There needs to be a reaction somewhere else. But 2G today looking a little too slow, not quite on the same level of 100 Thieves. 12-6. 6 chances to close things out and come away with a 2-0 that throws 100 Thieves into playoffs.
Have an inclination as well to 6 chances. Might not even be needed for 100 Thieves at this point. Pit's going to be used here. This is preemptive off the bit of sound cues and a deep drone at that. Clears out most of the way through B main, but that pit is going to be pushed back entirely here. Locked down. Nothing to push this one away here. Wingman's going to be broken in the midst of all of that. So you do have to respect it. Integrity of it all going to be dropping, and Pit stays up, I believe. Not quite going down into the time, so 2G can use that to try and play their way back in, but Asna is way ahead of the curve here. Now the Armageddon Lay it down, roll out the red carpet. 2G trying to make the most of it. Up from the high ground though, there's a Hunter's Fury supplemented perfectly. And 13-6 is the finish for the 100 Thieves put on that map and the series to lock their placement in the top 4.
After the first half of Ascent, everything looked amazing from 100 Thieves. I mean, they were out here completely running the game. And their performance on Icebox, they fixed up their defense. They had superb rounds at being able to shut down what 2G were going for. And then that attack side calling from Booio, I love that. I mean, the crafted setups that Zix had given him to open up the half, and then the adaptations and the mid pressure was all beautiful.
Yeah.
Booio finishes with 300 ACS after being pretty much top of the scoreboard on Ascent as well, from what I can remember. It's a revival tour. You remember this guy pieing almost every game in Kickoff?
Now, people were suspecting he needed to shave his head again and dye it.
No.
Return in form, not quite.
New Booio.
Yeah.
He's playing so well.
New Booio, old Booio. He is playing well.
Kind of like a return back to old Booio, though. He really looks like he's on the same form he was in 2023.
2-0 is a beautiful finish here for an 100 Thieves squad where been looking for success, to be honest. Start of this year, we all know, just how upset I think the fan base was. Yeah. To get this roster in terms of expectations that are laid onto these players' shoulders.
And today, there is, I mean, we were talking about it earlier on. A lot of the games this week look like they have a very heavy favorite on paper.
Yeah.
But in reality, we saw that Ascent was winnable for 2G. There was a world where this goes to 3 mats, and something funky happens, but 100 Thieves shut it down. Any chance of that, they made sure that they were the ones walking away with the victory. And these spots where you have an opponent that you should beat, and you do, they make all the difference for being able to make it through to stuff like playoffs. And that's where 100 Thieves are headed.
Yeah, they can set their sights forwards a little bit more, obviously, more of regular season to account for. A little bit into stage 1, but some good looks from 100 Thieves. And some funny moments overall again.
Yeah.
Just in terms of Asada, man, this guy just gets away with murder all the bloody time.